I'm Tim Hall, co-founder of Simporter. Thank you all for spending this hour with us. With me is Dylan Hall, my co-founder. Dylan, if you would turn on your video.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dylan, as Tim mentioned. I'm the co-founder of Simporter, and I'm just going to jump right in. We've got a lot of really interesting data for today. We've got about an hour. We'll try and end a little bit early. So if you all can see my screen.
Yep.
Today we'll be covering food and beverage trends in 2021. So we'll be looking at some data, some new opportunities that our AI software identified and that are really interesting opportunities for new product innovation. A brief look at the agenda. We'll do an intro to the company for a few minutes. Then we'll cover functional beverages, keto-friendly snacks, plant-based snacks, fermented beverages, sustainability, and then we'll wrap up around 5 minutes early. So just one quick thing before I jump in. If you want a recording of this webinar to be emailed, you can just take a picture of this QR code to go to the sort of web page we set up and just register there. If you didn't register there already, if not, you can just reach out to nick@simporter.com also to reach him if you want to deep dive on any categories that are very specific to what you're looking into, and just include in the text of the email webinar promotion to make sure that it's at the top of our priority list. So a little bit about us. We automate new product research with our AI software. And the reason is because trends today really go from 0 to 60 in just about 6 weeks. And so our Whitespace AI software empowers you to identify those trends before competition has, so that you can be a first mover. What's really unique about it, we analyze not just one data source. We look at search traffic data, we look at customer reviews, we look at e-commerce product listings and offline product listings, and we look at social media data to capture as much data as possible and digest it with AI to understand what is it consumers are really looking for, but they cannot find it. So I'm just gonna show for about 30 seconds or so a quick example of how our software works, how it's been designed to be really easy to use. So I'll dive into this use case. We'll call it sports nutrition dive. And let's see, there we go. This is an example of the dashboard where you can see different types of attributes. So anything like an ingredient, consumer need, or a sensory attribute, and you can just hover over these things. So in different segments, for example, we might look at post-workout and recovery, or we might want to see different trends in energy and endurance, and you can hover over them and see things like consumers are looking to avoid keto fever. And if you click the Analyze button, you can then get a read on how consumer demand has changed over time relative to competition. So again, we are not just telling you what people want, but what can they get as well. So is there a lot of competition there, or is it a true white space? And you can even dive into the actual data that is telling you, what are people looking for? How are people avoiding keto fever today? What other products are they using that are not designed to help them avoid that, but are solving the need somewhat today, so that you can get that texture behind a trend? So I'll jump back to our slideshow. In this report that we'll cover these different topics today, we analyzed over 2,000 different products with 1.7 million user mention points. And we looked at over 500 different brands in order to tell you what's going on across categories like plant-based protein snacks or across fermented beverages and so on. And our AI sort of captures these conversations, it clusters them into different topics and tells you the meaning behind it.